Let me tell you a secret. Like probably most Americans, I love to grill out. Because let's be honest, which would you rather eat? A burger cooked in a skillet or one from your grill? A steak cooked on the stovetop or a grilled steak? Yeah, we both know grilled meat is always better, so I love to grill. And here's the secret though. I'm terrible at grilling. Probably because no one ever really taught me how. But now, I have a secret weapon. This is the Meter 2 Plus. And it's not perfect, but if you know that going in, it can make you and me better grill chefs. The Meter 2 Plus is, as its name implies, the sequel to the Meter company's original smart wireless thermometer. And if you're familiar with that, then you should know about the upgrades to this. Meter started by addressing some of the biggest complaints, which centered around maximum temperatures. Whereas the original could only handle up to 500-degree ambient temperature before you damage the hardware, the new Meter 2 Plus actually withstands over 900 degrees. It also moved from water resistance to waterproof and added 4 more temperature sensors to the probe for a total of 5. And somehow with all that, Meter managed to slim down the probe by 30% in the process. So what does that mean if you're not familiar with the Meter 2 Plus? Basically, you can do almost anything with it. You can use it to cook meat on a grill, in the oven, or even a fryer. With its ability to withstand 1000 degrees, you can use it to cook over open fire for that matter. But it's not just the probe that makes it special. This is an app-powered thermometer too. When you stick the Meter 2 Plus into your protein, you'll connect the app to the Meter probe and then select what kind of meat you plan to cook, whether you're grilling, smoking, using an oven, etc., and what temperature you want to hit. Then you can practically walk away. Practically because of a limitation I'll get into in just a moment. The app will use the probe's temperature sensors to determine what the ambient temperature is around your meat, the current temperature of your meat, and how quickly that temp is rising across several points. It can even give you an estimated time to finish based on that rise in temp. And it'll have you pull the meat at the appropriate time to give it a proper rest. That's not all the app does either. It has a masterclass tab that will walk you through the proper steps to cook quite a few different recipes. Some of them don't call for the probe at all, like the sauces. But if you're not sure how to cook a tomahawk steak, for instance, it will walk you through every step, including preparation of your grill. That's pretty fantastic for someone like me who doesn't really always know what they're doing. You see, on my deck, I have a ridiculous number of grilling options. I have a double grill that offers charcoal or propane, a gravity-fed smart grill that also acts as a smoker. Don't miss my review for that, by the way. And a dedicated, if tiny, smoker. And when summer comes, I use them a lot. But if I'm being honest, my grill skills are not that great. I get impatient, turn up the heat, and end up overcooking everything, if not outright burning it. I don't know when it's best to use indirect heat with charcoal, and so on. With the Meter, I have access to recipes which, granted, I could get online if I don't mind scrolling through someone's life story about the lamb chops first, but more importantly, I get feedback from the probe. Chicken is a great example. There's a fine line between well done chicken, which is something I always want, and dry chicken, something I never ever want. And the Meter 2 lets you specify you want well done meat, but not dry, and it will notify you to pull the chicken off accordingly. If, for some reason, you prefer dry chicken, you can ask for that too. You crazy person, you do you. And remember, this is something you can use on the grill, but also in the oven or in the fryer. So that's really great to have those options for this particular kind of meat. But we should get into some limitations with the new Meter 2, especially compared to its predecessor. While it can handle much higher temperatures, you of course need it buried inside of meat, as the internal temperature sensors can't handle the same amount of heat as the ambient sensor. That's not a big deal though. The bigger problem is connectivity. There's no Wi-Fi to be found here, unlike some of the previous models. You can only connect over Bluetooth. So if you want to walk away from your grill, you need to leave one device near your grill, like a phone or tablet. The nice thing is, with a close by connected device, you can check on your cook from another phone or tablet. But generally, I don't like keeping my electronics all that close to a flaming hot grill or oven or fryer. The true smarts of the device actually come from this base station. The probe connects to it, and then the station connects to your phone or tablet. That means you need to keep the base station near your grill or oven when you're cooking. The base station is magnetic, so you can attach it to the base of your grill or a nearby fridge if that's more convenient. If none of that is available, Meter sells a metal hanger that doubles as a bottle opener that this can attach to. But that's just one more thing to keep track of when you're using the Meter 2. I do like that the back has slip-resistant rubber feet, and it looks nice. You realistically can't use any wireless meat probe on ground meat. Well, okay, you can, but it's risky. I lost my Meter 2 probe into the grill once while trying to use it to measure a burger I was cooking. It just slipped out, which was really scary because again, the internal temperature sensors can't handle direct heat. So I had to quickly open the grates and fish out the probe before it was damaged. That was not a fun time. Now, if I'm cooking a burger, I use a wired probe instead. At least that I can get out easily if it falls out of the ground meat. Hey, by the way, if you've watched for this long, would you consider hitting that subscribe button? I also recently opened up YouTube memberships. Members get early access to my videos whenever possible, and I'm working on rolling out more perks too. Join the Anoraker Club, and thanks! Battery life is a bit of an issue too. The probe recharges by plugging it into the base station, and the base station uses a standard AAA to provide its power and charge the probe. I like that the back comes off really easily to replace the battery, and it's just a push and it tilts open. And the probe charges really fast too. 5 minutes of charge will give you a 2-hour cook time, and 15 minutes of charge will give you a 12-hour cook. And that's important because the issue with battery is the app does a poor job of notifying you when the AAA battery is low. Meter promises that the AAA battery should give you 2 years worth of charging, but I already had the Meter supplied battery die on me. It could have been a bad battery, I suppose, but the app didn't warn me at all. So I went to cook one night and found that the station and probe were completely dead. I had to dig out a AAA battery and then wait for the charger to get it going. I happened to have batteries on hand, so it turned out okay, especially thanks to fast charging. But what if I'd been out of batteries? I really wish it would have warned me. And while Meter managed to slim down this probe compared to its predecessor, and it is one of the thinner probes on the market, it's still pretty thick, and that can be an issue. I already mentioned what happened with ground beef, but just think about if you wanted to cook chicken tenders. This isn't going to insert very well. And I've once actually managed to push all the way through a thinner salmon fillet, which exposed the temperature sensors to direct heat and sent danger warnings. I almost damaged this in the process. So it's something you have to think about. This is great for big steaks, but not so much on thin meats. And of course, we have to mention price. $130 is a lot to spend for a single probe, and while Meter sells a 4-pack block of the original Meter Plus that even adds built-in Wi-Fi for $300, it doesn't have a similar option for the Meter 2 Plus right now. So you have to ask yourself, is one probe enough for your needs? A lot of the time it probably is, like if you're cooking one big steak or perhaps pulled pork. But what about chicken breasts, salmon fillets, pork chops? What if it's surf and turf kind of night? Sometimes you need more than one probe, and that could make the already kind of high price add up really quick. And since there's no block option currently, you'll have more base stations to deal with, which means more batteries as well. But those are all problems you can work around. You might not need more than one probe if you don't mind doing some guesstimation based on where your meats are located around on the grill. You could just keep a stock of AAA batteries on hand and rely on fast charging. And you could just leave a device near your grill you don't care about all that much, like an old phone. I even found that keeping my grill near my kitchen window allows me to connect my iPad inside the house by placing it on the windowsill, which can then send the data to my phone, and that solves my range problems. And that's assuming you're not cooking indoors in an oven, for instance. And for all that, I get a meat thermometer that works really well for most situations. I get the guidance I've always needed to become a better grill cook, or even a better cook in general, and I can even use it in the oven and fryer if I'm careful and place it correctly. That makes it much more versatile than the wired probe for my smart grill, albeit much more expensive too. Overall, whether you're a seasoned grill chef or someone like me that wishes they were better but have been too lazy to learn, the Meter 2 Plus has a lot to offer, and it might even inspire you, like it has me, to finally YouTube some grill tips. My family has certainly appreciated the results, and so have I. I hope you enjoyed this review. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, as I have a lot more tech news and reviews coming. And by the way, check out my new gaming channel. Until next time, bye!